Hi, friends. Welcome back to another episode of Real Housewives of Moto. This is episode 45, breaking down Cleveland. And 45 is Mr. Colt Nichols. I think Colt Nichols is real pretty. How do you feel about him, Katie?
Yeah, he's like a pretty boy. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets pedicures.
I would totally not be surprised if he gets pedicures. He's not wearing the dangly earring anymore. I remember that was a point of contention among the Moto fans.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some of my like good Moto friends, I mean, they're all, good old boys, but they hated the dangly earring.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very triggering to them, apparently. Colt 45. I think that's so cool. That I assume that's his career number because he's had it for a couple years. So he must have gotten it with 250. He got a 250 championship. So I guess that's what he chose. I would assume that's what remember when he was on Factory Honda? What year was that? 23?
Oh my gosh. I don't know.
Yeah. It must have been when the Lawrences were still both on 250s.
It must have been.
Yeah. So maybe it was 23. Yeah. And Kenny had already gone to Suzuki. So Colt was on the factory HRC and didn't do a whole lot. That's a bummer.
Yeah.
What he did do recently is worked with Dirt Studios, which I'm a big fan of. Everybody knows if you follow me, I freaking love it. I love everything that Donnie and his team are doing. But they just released another of the Wear Tested. And they shot the whole campaign like in Oklahoma, where Colt's from, and this like cool old diner. Like even my husband was like, "Is that near us?" Because like we live like basically on the Oklahoma border. He was like, "That place was so cool." And normally I'm pretty early to the drops because I follow. They set like a timer in their stories about it, and so I subscribe to the timer, and it tells you when it goes live. It's genius.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. So I've gotten all of the shirts that I wanted to, except one at the time the drop went live. But this one I did not. I think I was like in a meeting at work or whatever. I really wanted the yellow one. They had like a yellow, a pink, and all the yellows like in my size are sold out. So I'm like, womp womp. I guess I have to exercise restraint with with merch for the first time in my life. So I'll live. Speaking of merch, shout out to my RHoMie Nicolette. We were talking about, I think originally we were talking about Kenny gear, and then we ended up talking about the Road to Recovery stuff. She did not get an AP one because those were in Dallas. Tim, my husband, has an AP one, but it like doesn't fit him really well. So I was like, "Hey, do you want his? You want to like trade?" And she's like, "I'll get you a Kenny one," which apparently the Kenny ones sold out at the pop-up shop on Friday, and then the Road to Recovery ones sold out like immediately Saturday morning. So she got me one of the Kenny shirts, which Courtney had said they were going to put them online, but I was just like scared like, that I wasn't going to get one. So, shout out Nicolette for getting me a Road to Recovery shirt, Kenny Road to Recovery shirt. I'm pumped about that. So I have little minions all over the place, like getting merch that I can't get, which is fun. So she also, I shared the story on my Instagram. She was the one who got the goggles from Kenny, but what you don't see is Racer X like shared it, but she, I don't know if Kenny remembered her from the pop-up shop. Courtney remembered her, but she like said she made eye contact with Kenny, and he was like, "I'm throwing you these goggles," and it was his podium goggles. So it was like the fancy one that have the film on them or whatever. And he threw it up to her at the top of the tunnel or whatever. And some guy like reached over and grabbed it and just gave her like kind of like a tough love look and just walked off.
Jerk.
I'd have bitch slapped somebody.
Jerk.
Like,
yeah.
I'd have punched him in the face. But Kenny saw it, and the gracious king that he is, he went back and got his race-worn goggles and threw the race-worn goggles up to her.
That's even better. You can smell the sweat.
Right? Exactly. This is what RHoMies get. You get it. So
that's way better.
Way better. So and she said that the guy that took the goggles like saw Kenny throw those up there too, and she was like, huh. So I love that. Karma's a bitch. So we love that. Also, top of the hour, shout out to my buddy at Clip Media, sent me this, and he is doing some excellent work, especially spotlighting our privateers in the sport, Corey Karsten, which I'm a big fan of him, and Kirsten. And he's experienced a little bit of what I experienced with the like lack of official credentials and just like Feld not loving it. Feld has some very tight rules about filming and lens sizes and cameras that you can and cannot have. So he's fighting the good fight. Like he's not trying to make $1 million off of Supercross and, film and broadcast in the stadium, but he's spending his own dime to get to the races and puts out some pretty cool stuff. So Clipped Media, Clipped Up, find him on Instagram. And then I was looking at our picks from last week. We both picked Kenny, so we won there. But we both picked Seth, and we did not win there. So
I thought he was going to win at first.
Me too. He looked good. He won the first race, so he went 1-3-6 for fourth. But just kind of a weird day of racing. You know, we were kind of talking about this before we recorded. Like, I think we were all just expecting the worst with the rain, and it's kind of like the first main was like okay, and then the second main was sloppy because that's when it started raining, and then the third was kind of like a mix of things. So weird day. Everybody apparently loved Cleveland, even though like the pits were meh. Like I saw how janky the parking lot was. Like that team had a lot to work with. But everybody was like, who went to, you know, Ken's event Friday and then the AC and JB show at Shooters. That looked so fun. Like I watched that whole thing.
Yeah, it looked really nice.
Yeah, it was so cute. Although I did love the people that were like walking behind them when they were recording. Like at one point it was like an older woman who was just like looking around like in the window, you know, and I'm like, if you even knew the legends of Moto that you're walking in front of.
No, really.
No, I love stuff like that. I don't normally get to partake in stuff. And I mean, there's Arlington, like there's been a few things like we went to Billy Bob's for AP's thing and that was fun. But normally like Fridays, like in Arlington, which is my home race, like I have to work. So I don't get to go to any of those fun things. So I always have like massive FOMO. And so of course, like 2 Kenny events, like my FOMO was off the charts. So
I'm sure
it looked fabulous. And I love the MGK tie-in, MGK and Kenny and AC and our girl Evie are all managed by Steve Astfin, who owns the family. So we've talked about that. I'm a big fan of the family. I like all those people. I think they're lovely. So having them all together in one place at, I was going to say Colton. That's his name, Colton. MGK's hometown is cool. And then the Road Recovery gear also had like the Cleveland MGK nod, which I love when we get like branding all working, you know, it's
right.
like, oh, look, we can be creative. And so that was really neat. I had major FOMO. So we can, I think everybody was like
next year.
I know. I could see us going back to Cleveland. I think that might be kind of the surprise new stop for a while. So.
Oh, for sure.
I don't know if like they have plans for a new stadium. I know it's the Browns and the Browns are just kind of the joke of the NFL, but it did not look like the greatest stadium, but to be on the lake, like that's pretty cool. Although you do risk like major weather stuff being on a lake like that because it could just roll in so quickly. But other things, I shared the video of Adam setting up I think he's a defensive lineman. He was like, did you see this? Where he was sitting on Ken's bike and the 7 Deuce was like showing him like how to put his hand on the brake and the clutch or whatever. This man,
no.
I looked it up. He's 24 years old. 24 years old. He's 6'8" and 375 pounds. He's a Browns defensive lineman.
My word.
That's huge.
Yeah.
There's a picture. I think I screenshot it. It's from my boy, Alec got, and it's of, oh my gosh, this is so funny. Let me see if I can show you guys this. It's of Sean Brennan, the PR lead. And he's like reaching up towards him. Like this man is
that is insane.
Oh my gosh. And so the comments on it right now on my reel is so funny. It's like, well, you know, he broke in Kenny's suspension and get this down to 750.
That's what I was thinking. Like it just probably sunk.
Yeah. I know. I was like, I hope that was his practice bike. But I think that's cool. I think it's cool that we're getting special guests, you know, like last weekend, Theo Vaughn and all that fun stuff. So good job, Feld PR.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk a little racing. Nate Thrasher, again, the most confusing 250 rider in the history of 250 racing, wins it with a 2:14. We love Nate Thrasher because we love his accent and we love his perfect porcelain skin.
And his wife.
And we love his wife, Andrea. She is adorable and does
She's
the cutest.
So cute. Yeah.
And gets ready with me. Get ready with me's. Where do we put the me's? Get ready with me's. So just really, really happy for them. I'm sure that this is making his contract negotiations that much more complicated in a good way, because I think before the last couple races where he's done well, like he was absolutely on the chopping block at Star. So
for sure.
And Star just has like 1 million people right now, you know? I mean, they always do, but especially with the Caden Minier, Caden Dudney, Landon Gordon amateur stuff, like I don't know what Star is going to look like next year. We talked about this last week. Like Jay Coop apparently has an offer on the table from Triumph. hearing that Faulkner might be going the test rider route. That's not finalized, but I've heard that has been on the table, that Faulkner could be a test rider at Triumph, I guess with Styles Robertson, because Styles is there too. Anywho, it's gonna be a lot of shakeup between Star and Triumph, and people are throwing Ducati in there. And I said something on a meme I made about Chase looking at Ducati, but I kind of hope that Ducati re-signs Dylan and Barcia, just because I feel like this year has been such a wash for Justin.
Right.
And Dylan's been putting in all the hard work. And what did he get? 5th this weekend? Hold please. 9th. Just kidding. I don't know why I thought he did. Somebody surprised me. Oh, Joey Savacci got 5th. Joey went 6.76 for 5th.
Oh, nice.
I know. So we'll get to the 450s. But anyhow, Nate Thrasher, such a strange one. We got a Cody sighting. Was that Cody?
Yeah.
I love it. But my daughter is homesick, and she's just about as feral as Katie's animal. So we're dealing with all the things.
No, guys. Yeah. Cody is like having a toddler.
Yeah. Well, Margot's 5, and she's like having a 2-year-old. So, good job, Nate Thrasher. The big surprise of the day is Landon Gordon. This was his second race. He was an amateur at Star that they pulled up last weekend. I think he wrecked and DNF'd. I know he wrecked last weekend, but he did not have a good debut. Interesting to go from a day race Nashville to a day race potential mutter Triple Crown at a stadium we've never been to, and we don't know anything about the dirt. Like,
yeah, no, that's a good point.
That's a lot.
That's everything mixed together in one.
I'd be real nervous. Like, if I was him or his parents, I'd be like, oh, cool. Like, let's just throw the kitchen sink at the kid. But he went 4.22 for second overall. So I don't know if that makes Caden Dudney nervous, because Caden did not have the best debut.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of speed. Like I said, when I was at Arlington Press Day, he literally threw like a fat whip over the finish line every time he went over the finish line, which was cool. I was like, all right. But they pulled Caden Dudney to focus on outdoors. And then also Caden Menier, whom I love. I love Caden Menier. I assume is just grinding for outdoors too. So we will see what happens with the amateur program at Star, but no shortage of kids at Star ever.
Never.
Also at Star, it was a Star podium. I mean, they sweeped 1, 2, 3. I didn't realize that. Nate, Landon, and Cole. So again, I'm gonna have to probably buy some more blue yarn for my blanket. Cole went 5.41. We got back to kind of serious Cole. I think he expects a lot from himself, and he's hard on himself when he's not there. Which you can't fault him for, Like I don't think he's mad. I just think that he knows he's capable of more, and
right.
Got to respect that. So he's on a really good trajectory for, winning this and then defending next year and then moving up in 28. Like, yeah, in and out in like 2.5 years, because he didn't have a full season last year. So wild.
Yeah.
4th place, Katie and I both picked Seth, and he went 1.36. The last moto was the one that he went down a couple times and just looked like frantic and trying to get back up there. And so that kind of sucked because we love Seth. So bummer for him. Daxton Bennett. Daxton looked a lot better this weekend. He went 3.53 for 5th, which sucks because he got 2 third places. It was really up there battling, and he looked good. Apparently he had a stomach virus. Did you hear that?
Oh no, I didn't see that.
On the podium, like his podium interview. It's funny, like when he first got up there, I was like, he does not look good. Like I was like, is he gonna barf? And then they were like, apparently you've been battling a stomach bug, and I was like, oh, he's gonna barf on the podium. But he didn't, so that's good. Daxton's really been this year trending upward, and he's one of those, I almost said rejects from Star, but he's not a reject. It's just that Bobby doesn't give people very long.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So he's been doing well on the Husky, which is exciting. 6th and 7th, it's the club boys. They always seem to find each other, both on the East Coast and the West Coast. Like they're always together. So Cody Schock, Devin Simonson. Cody went 6.77. Devin did not have a good first moto. He was 12.65. So I think this might be the first time that Cody's beaten Devinson. I think there was one earlier, but Cody was supposed to be the premier out of those two, and he has not.
Right. Yeah.
So
DB had high hopes for him, saying podiums and stuff.
He did. We talked about this very early on. It was going to be interesting to see how the club boys do, who did World Supercross, to just slide into racing. And Cody was one that did not do West Coast to give him a little bit of time to like chill out, recover, or whatever. And arguably he hasn't done that well. And Devin did Devin race all of the World Supercross rounds?
I'm not
I
sure.
know he did some of them. I think he might have done all of them. So like that theory isn't holding up, because Devin's been on fire and Cody just hasn't been there. I listened to a number of his post-race interviews. I can't remember, maybe somebody did a long form, but he last year was talking about working with a mindset coach and like really making some gains in like his mental space. And so I think that's a lot of what we saw last year was like him leveling that up. But then he admitted that this year he's been a little bit too much up in his head and been angry and not just communicating was his thing. He said 2026, one of his New Year's resolutions was to communicate better with Emily, his wife, and with Club. And so he said he was not doing that well through the first couple rounds of East Coast, but he is now, and he got him a 6. So maybe that has worked out for him. So let's see. Derek Kelly going 8-8-10 for 8th. Henry Miller 11-16-8 for 9. And then Isaiah Clark sneaking in at 10th with a 10-10-15. Nick Romano was at 11th. Nick barely squeaked into these mains. Like he was the last transfer position in the LCQ. During his qualifying, he was obviously had not qualified yet, and then did a hot lap thinking that was going to qualify him, and then looked up at the board, didn't qualify. There was 50 seconds left, and they were 45-second lap times. So he had more than enough time to do it and just rolled around the last lap. I was like, homeboy, this is like how to get your ass beat by Mitch Payton 101. Like
exactly.
So, I mean, he qualified, but do you think that there were still discussions had between Nick and Mitch after this race?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
I would love to be a fly on the wall for that. But yeah, not good. Not good that you, barely qualified by the skin of your teeth. Didn't take the time to do that final hot lap. So it's not, Nick needs to get it together, so to speak. He does not have a contract for the summer. So depending on Cam coming back, depending on who else we got over there.
Well, Drew is out now, right?
Drew is out. I'm gutted for that kid because he's so sad.
Wasn't that his first race back, or was it last week?
Last week was, but I don't think he did great last week. He had a little bobble last week too, but this one was much bigger.
Yeah.
Devin went down too. Devin had a pretty gnarly get off too. So this track was definitely claiming people left and right, and we'll get there in the 450s. I felt like I had something else on 250s, but whatever. Cole, honestly, like not winning it this weekend, I don't think it was that big a deal. Excuse me. I do think Cole is going to lock up this championship. I mean, we've got 2 more. No, Denver's a West, and then the shootout. So each coast has 1 of each, and then the showdown. So, which will be very interesting to see what Deegan does at the showdown, because he's got the championship clinched. He's been testing the 450. I mean, I don't think he cares about team orders, but if Cole is in the championship contention, like is Bobby saying, Deegan, go out there and play, I don't know, whatever, like support to get Cole the championship?
I could probably see him doing that. Yeah.
I think of all the people that at Star that Hayden has burned bridges with, I think he's good with Cole,
Oh yeah, they're buddies. Yeah.
Yeah. And he got him the PJ when he wrecked at Salt Lake at Hayden's. No, it wasn't at Hayden's doing. That was earlier, right? Were they the same wreck where he broke his arm and everything? That was literally less than a year ago, and I can't even remember.
Oh, the arm I think was when Jordan Smith landed on him, right?
Oh yeah. It wasn't.
And then qualifying Deegan took him out, I think, but he was fine
over the top of the berm. Yeah, I remember that. That's crazy that was. It feels like that was yesterday, and also like 10 years ago.
Oh, for sure.
This is how I feel about Kenny right now. I'm like, I feel like we're in 2016 with Kenny, but also not at all. We got a Cody. Cody needs mom.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I don't know why they're acting up on Mondays.
They just know. I mean, Margot probably sent him a telegram. I just saw Andrea Thrasher's reel that she made about getting sprayed on the podium with the champagne, and she said, if you need a sign to get the one size plus L'Oreal setting spray, this is it. Because like she shows her face after getting sprayed, and like her makeup does not move at all. So girl, get you a brand deal, like get that sponsorship, because that is great marketing.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little 450. We gotta start with Eli. Let's start.
Okay, well, it was teeing up to be a good weekend. I got to hang out with you. We were having so much fun. He threw the first pitch. I think he did pretty good for probably never picking up a baseball before.
He looked like he hated his life, though. He looked like he did not
want to be there. I thought his caption was funny about this is more nerve-wracking than like a main event start.
Yep.
He seemed in a good mood, though. He posted, that's nice. I wake up and I'm like, I'm just going to see where they're at. So I checked live timing and I saw Eli was in second and I said, oh, good. Okay. Well, I'm scared. So I'm going to turn it off for like a minute or so and recheck. I opened back up live timing. Like I just woke up. That's woke up.
All of us.
And I saw there was a red flag and I said, oh, interesting. Did not even cross my mind it was Eli. Like my mind went to a privateer for some reason. So I opened up Peacock on my phone and I see them picking up Eli's bike. Ugh. And I said, are you, I don't really cuss, but effing kidding me? And I threw my phone and I text my husband and I said, shut the F up. I said, I am going to go onto oncoming traffic right now. I said, are you kidding me? You know, I just start spiraling. And then like you text me, you were being positive, which was good. I was being negative.
I didn't know if you'd seen it, but then you commented on something on Instagram. So I was like, okay, I know she's seen it. So now I got to check in. I know she's alive.
And it was just so heartbreaking. And I can't believe we're going through this again. It's like going through a breakup. You just kind of feel empty and you just don't know what to think. And then, you know, he's lining up for Q2. Good. And he pulled out and I was like, God dang it. I said, dang it. I'm like, 3 races left. Like, come on. I can't comprehend it. I'm like trying to distract myself all the time right now. So I don't think of it. And then I think of it and get really sad. I did love seeing all of like the reels people were making. Like everyone was so bummed. Yep. Like Supercross Voices. Love that he's a Tomac fan. Never goes in for him. Fully supportive. Has the best memes of Tomac. I don't know what to do.
It seems unfair. Like
it's just,
after, and we've been on such a roller coaster with Eli this year that like it feels extra heavy because it's like, okay, he's changing bikes, he's changing teams. We don't have high expectations for him. We're just glad that he's here. We're glad that we get to see. He looks so much better than he did in Australia at World Supercross. Oh my gosh, he's dominating. This is crazy. So we've been like up and down, and then we're speculating what's going on with the bike. And then he called Lewis out, and it's just like, what's going on? And then for this to happen, like not even like to get injured and continue to ride through it, to DNF or DNQ or whatever we want to call it. Did not start. DNS.
The whiplash of it all. And it was like he had such bad luck at like Glendale and Houston. I was like, the bad luck is behind him. There's no way anything else bad is going to happen. And then he went in that slump and now we're hearing it's COVID effects. And it's just like, what? It's just like, oh, it's so frustrating. I feel like I'm really upset. And I'm heartbroken. But if he had the red plate and had a good gap, I feel like it would kill so much more.
Yeah.
I think the fact that, okay, well, as of now, we know nothing is broken. We don't know that yet. We don't know if there's torn ligaments or whatever. But he should still be good for outdoors. I mean, I think there's a slim chance he can race this week, but I can also just see them being like, well, we're out of the championship. Let's just go full outdoors. And recover. And then I hope nothing is worse. And then we might miss him for outdoors. Like it's the unknown. And I keep checking my phone for an update and we're not getting anything. Steve Mathis said like nothing on his review show about it. Like usually they get some kind of inside tea. Nothing. Faith told me that he did go to the hospital for further scans after. But we don't know the results, and there was no Ian Harrison interview after the race, and Jay Dungy hasn't posted, and it's just like insane. And it's like, I'm sure he's kicking himself because of what happened with Hunter, you know? And if he had a good race because he looked good in qualifying, like maybe this was the race that was going to turn it all around, and him and Kenny could be really close to Hunter. They can, and it's just like, why? I hate being a Tomac fan sometimes.
No, really. it feels unfair. Like, to have this level of success this season and fighting through whatever the heck he's fighting through, be it COVID, be it arm pump, whatever, for it to go this way and it to be completely his fault. Like, it wasn't like he got landed on. It was just like those weird whoops.
And he never crashes in the whoops. He's always so good in those.
I know. And then for them to say hip, like at first we were like, oh, it's shoulder. I was like, concussion.
Collar. Oh, yeah, that was good that you pointed that out. But yeah, the way he was laying there, it could have been a concussion. Like, I thought it was collarbone because he was like nursing it, kind of. I don't know. But then when he was walking out for Q2, I don't know if you saw that video. If you saw that video, he's kind of walking normal.
Yeah. I mean, he rode with a broken leg.
And that's another point. It's like, if he rode with a broken leg, I'm like, I don't know how bad a hip hurts, but like it could have, I don't know. I don't want to, I'm not a doctor. So I don't know.
I mean, we've got to think that like he probably got some kind of shot, in between Q1 and Q2, like, which then even makes me feel like, okay, you got the shot, you're probably feeling okay. And then he only did like one lap before he pulled off.
Yeah.
So he's such a tank that I'm like, it's gotta be bad. I don't think he was like, I'm out of this. I'm not going to do it. Like, that's not Eli energy. So I don't know.
Wait and see.
Yeah.
Wait and see.
That was the first big shakeup of the day. I think everybody was very much out on race day live starting at the butt crack of dawn, because I opened my Peacock app when we woke up and it was, I guess, when the red flag was out, because when I turned it on, it was Eli walking to the mule. So I was like, what is happening? Like, he's getting on the mule, but he's walking.
Oh.
So of course, then they play it back and I'm like, okay, that sucks. That looks bad. It's got to be shoulder. And then we hear hip and blah, blah, blah. But it was so early. I mean, for the West Coast, it started at 6 a.m. Like, can you imagine waking up at 6 a.m., turning on your TV to see Eli go flying and then getting in the mule? Like, Saturday sucked from that on.
Yeah.
So I'm out on day races officially.
I just can't believe it.
I know. So luckily, as a Ken Roczen fan, we had a shining light at the end of the day.
Yes. All things aside, that was phenomenal. Incredible.
Yeah. I mean, elated, over the moon. If I wasn't already going to Salt Lake, I'd be booking my flights right now, because we were 31. I think that was number 31 points down at one point. Like, Kenny's never done this. Like, he's never clawed back into a championship. This is usually what Webb does.
Right.
So, Cooper did get second. After having his newborn this week, baby girl number 3, Revy, just so cute. We got Indy, Presley, and Revy. So we're going with the E sound on the end. I like it. Which you and I were talking about. Like, what do you do? Like, does Cooper like not sleep in their house when he has a newborn? Like, he's got to sleep. This is the first thing I think about with babies is sleep. Like,
oh, I know. That's a good point.
I'd be so curious. No, like, did you go sleep at somebody else's house? Like, what? I mean, is your house big enough that you can't hear? I don't have anywhere in my house that I couldn't hear a newborn crying.
Right.
So, this is the things you don't think about as, young families. So yeah, has a newborn at home. The first two mains were a little bit of a snore. Hunter won the first one pretty convincingly. Jacob wins the second one, which was awesome. I thought that this was, Jacob's just on a roll. Like, he's getting better and better, but everybody else in that top pack is insane. So I just don't know that he has quite, I don't want to say that stamina, like, it's not like he's fading, but I just don't know that he can,
like, that extra notch.
Yeah. So I was happy for him to grab one. I saw somebody describe his gear as hot Cheeto gear, like the yellow, red, orange O'Neill gear. So I love that hot Cheeto gear. And then our boy Kenny going, 2-2-1. I don't even I don't want to say anything about it. Like, I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to, this, like, it would transcend Moto. Like,
it really would. They would have to make a movie.
Yeah, it would be, not only just a 30 for 30, which is, ESPN's like greatest stories. But it would be like cinematic. I know DB has like joked about it that he wants to write it. And I'm like, if I'm not involved in this, I'm gonna be pissed. Like, I'll handle all of the story from Courtney's.
Or can we go be extras in the movie? Can we have a part?
Yes, please. Be the Kenny Glazers. But I mean, ESPN did an article on him after one. I don't think he'd had the second arm injury, but I remember they like went to his house and like did a whole photo shoot. It's the one where he's like hanging on the weight bar with his legs straight out. This picture is iconic, but I'm like, that was before he had, I think, before he did the other arm injury. Now here we are 9 years later, it happened 2017. And we are 1 point out of this title fight. Like, this is insane. We are witnessing the KENaissance. I had somebody send me that and I was like, KENaissance. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he looks so happy. I love watching him and Courtney call the boys. Like,
that was so cute.
It's the best. It is the best. And he just seems so happy and like doesn't really care about the point spread. Like when he got up on the podium and he was like, oh, it's 1 point, like had no idea. And I just think like he is a force to be reckoned with right now because he's riding great. He's healthy. He's got a 10-year-old bike that he's not changing anything on, you know? So I'm just like, he's got all the pieces to do this. And
he does. I hope he does.
Knock on wood, because the sport needs this. I commented somewhere that I was like, I have waited 15 years for this year and I did not think I was ever going to see it. So, Hunter, you've got time.
Yeah, exactly.
And he does not. So, he is racing Paris. He is racing some more of the stadium trucks. I do know that. So that's cool. That could be another reason I need to come visit you because they got a bunch of California rounds. You go watch stadium trucks.
Oh yeah, Glen Helen. I think they go to Glen Helen a lot.
Yeah. So I think that would be fun. You know, with what did they say? With age comes cage.
Yeah. With age comes cage. Yeah.
I love that. So our podium was Ken, Cooper, J. Coop. Fourth place, Chase. We saw some flashes of Chase Sexton.
We did, yes.
So encouraged with that. Chase went 7.34. That black and white Alpine Stars gear with just the green monster logo. I love it. It was
so nice.
We had some good kits this weekend. Like Kenny's with the neon. Like at first I was like, oh, it's the mutter. It's neon. It's brilliant. It was like a Sobe Travis Pastrana.
Yeah, I saw that.
I love it. I mean, I love anything that Fox does, but that was particularly awesome. Also, Hunter had an all red and white Alpine Stars set up, and then his bike was kind of like just predominantly red and white. You know, whereas last weekend in Nashville they had the kind of Gibson co-branding. And I thought it looked really good on the red and white on red and white on Hunter's bike. I can't talk. So excited to see a little bit of Chase fight in him. Even like his caption on one of the posts that he shared, like he just seems a little more optimistic about just like riding the bike, like figuring it out.
Yeah.
Obviously I'm not like high on Chase personally right now because I love Evie and I just I don't like how their relationship ended, but also at the same time I'm like, Chase, you're so freaking talented on a dirt bike that like it feels like we're getting gypped as fans not seeing Chase at 100% because he's so freaking talented, but this, you know, it's the third bike in 5 years that you're like complaining about. So just shut up and ride it so we can watch you be awesome. Like
exactly. I just think I thought he would get that by now.
I know. I don't think he can get out of his own head. I don't think he can get out of the way. But then you think about the rides like the 40th to first or just he can do it. He can do it. And I think that's what is frustrating about him. It's not that he's like some diva that is just complaining for the sake of complaining. I mean, he might be, but it doesn't feel that way because he has the skills to back it up. Like you don't get a $3 million contract from Cowie if you're Joe Schmo. Like he's got the skills and that's why it's annoying.
Yeah.
Like, show up, show out. There we go. Pin on Chase. Fifth was Joey Savacci, 6.76. Joey was saying how with his foot injury, he's kind of riding himself back to pre-foot injury times. But I mean, great for Quad Lock. Like this is so cool. Like that he's basically like a, you know, privateer supported team. And is getting fifth overall in a Triple Crown. So good on him. Good on Quad Lock. Good on Yariv. I did think it was funny. I listened to, I think, an interview with most of the Quad Lock guys. So Joey, Shane, Dean, and then somebody was talking about Christian. None of them really know what they're doing for off season because, you know, they're an international team. They do World Supercross, they do OzX. So not the best PR look for that team, but also it's not their fault because World Supercross hasn't announced their rounds. So TBD on what Quad Lock does because TBD on what World Supercross is doing. So that would be nice to get their schedule. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, seriously. It's April.
Yeah, I did hear. I think we talked about this. I did hear that there is a Canada round, which I think they've had one every year, or they tried to.
Yeah,
so that's good. But that might be the only North American one, and that it overlaps with Pro Moto at the end. So, that'll be interesting to see how those riders that know that they're going to do international rounds and they are going to do a first couple of the pro outdoors, like in the States, like how they manage those points, like especially if they're people that are going to be wanting to qualify for Super Motocross at the end.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my gosh. Qualify. Why would they do that?
I don't know, but I have a feeling like, I mean, Kenny's going to be on that program too. Like Kenny's probably only going to do a few outdoors. I mean, he obviously, if he wins the championship, he, you know, takes all the points from Supercross. He'll get the most points there. But that's something that I think just being a few years into this World Supercross playoff, and I do that with big air quotes, playoff, because I think a playoff is misleading because nobody's getting eliminated or anything. Like we're just doubling and then tripling the points. But anyhow, I think that's one thing we forget about is like they're having to manage stacking points for that and gate picks. And is that really it? Like the points is like if you qualify A, and then the second would be like where you're seated, I guess. So
yeah.
So Quad Lock, very interested to know what you guys are doing. And I know it's not your fault. It's World Supercross fault. So World Supercross, can you release your schedule? Okay, thanks. Bye. Up next was Hunter Lawrence. Hunter had the worst day of anybody, maybe aside from Eli. The gas tank leaking.
I thought he was going to DNF.
Me too. Like he gained so much respect from me from like grinding through that. Like I cannot wait until their vlog comes out because their vlog, Tom Journay is killing it. I've talked about it here. Best vlog in the market. So I cannot wait to hear them talk about that race, talk about what he was thinking about. I mean, because like when I think James is the one that figured out. Also, how the heck does James see that far? Like how does James? I
know, right? I always wonder that. Like, how do they notice all that?
I don't know. And James is so good about that. I feel like, oh yeah, he clicked up a gear. I'm like, how do you see that? How do you see one little click? But anyhow. James noticed it. I was kind of wondering if maybe they have like an additional broadcast monitor that's like they could zoom in because I was like, how would you see that? Even on the monitor, I couldn't see it. But then Hunter was tearing off multiple tear offs. He lost his visor. Why is it always Hunter and Jet that lose a visor? My gosh. And those helmets look so doofy when you lose the visor.
They look so dorky. Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but it kind of gives me the ick.
It does. It's goon riding.
It really does. Like, I don't know what it is, but there's a shot of Hunter and it's epic, but it's also hilarious. And it's like, I wish I could tell you who it was because, everybody's starting to upload their pictures this morning, but he's like up in the air. And so it's up against like the gray skies. So you can really see like an outline of him and you can see the gas coming up. So it's like, trickling out, but then he doesn't have his visor. And I'm just like, what a badass that you navigated, like crashing, definitely losing, any momentum you had in this championship. And then you lose a visor too, which is like been a joke because it just somehow is always you and Jet. And then continued and finished. Like what a badass. So,
yeah. That could have went a lot worse.
Yeah. Very, very impressed with Hunter. And if it wasn't a Triple Crown, like that could have been way worse, but he gets sixth overall with a 1.514. I mean, the wheels came off, so not great. Justin Hill, I love Justin Hill. I think he's so funny and he's so talented, like playing guitar and then like decided to be a cop, like left Moto and was like, I'm gonna be a cop. Like,
yeah. What? That always trips me out.
I know. But then apparently like he gave up being a cop, in rural Oregon because he was just dealing with a bunch of meth heads. And I was like, that sounds terrible. Like I'd rather deal with dirt bike people. 10, 11, 3. So that was cool. He's just like, he's always smiling. Like I was looking at pictures again and it's just like, even down on the, getting 10, 11 and then 3 was like elated to be down there. He had a good run last weekend in Nashville. So seeing a little bit of a KENaissance. It doesn't work as good as a KENaissance, but Happy for him because big brother Josh always, got the accolades, and he did win a championship, a 250 championship, but just hasn't been the greatest 450 ride for him. So it's cool that he's getting this kind of in the second half of his career. Dylan Ferrandis going 888 for ninth. I love math. 888 for 9. Although I do have to say with the Triple Crown, and you tell me if I'm crazy. You tell me if you feel this way or if I'm just being extra dramatic, because nobody's ever claimed I'm too dramatic. I can't stand when someone wins the Triple Crown and they didn't win a main.
Well, yeah, that's my whole thing with Cooper Webb. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
No. And like, not even one of them.
No. You want a race without winning a race. I hate it.
Yeah. Like, I feel like I get it. It's Olympic scoring, but like first place maybe should be like 2 points or negative points, right? Yeah. -1 point.
Yeah. Yeah. Like they went under par.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Or I literally hate when people do this on Pulp, when they call in and they try to like redo the sport live, and now I'm doing it. I hate when they do that. And I can tell Steve hates it too.
Yeah, like, he does.
What if they were weighted more? Because the third one is weighted more. So if it's a tie, like if you go 2-1-1 and the other person goes 1-2-2, the one takes it. Which is how the outdoors are too. Obviously, we only have 2 motos and outdoors. But I feel like they should be, maybe it was like half a point more. Like the first one is 1, the second one is half a point, and then the third one is 0. I don't know. I hate this.
Yeah, they need to restructure it.
Yeah. And I mean, that's kind of one of the downfalls that we've always talked about is like the sport is very conservative when it comes to change. It's not something we're great at. Whoop, you good? Oh, that was weird. All right. Well, unfortunately, Katie had some power issues and she had to run. So I'm going to wrap this up. Luckily, we were at the end. Next week is Philly, and I had to go back in the archives because God knows I can't even remember 2 weeks ago, so let alone a year ago. Philly was in that East Coast swing, so that was an interesting couple of races. I was at Foxborough last year when it was so freaking cold and sloppy and muddy. But last year, Chase Sexton won on the KTM, so that was when he started to really put the hammer down on Webb and things were tightening up. So last year, podium was Sexton, Webb, Roxon. And then in 250s, it was a showdown. So it was Cole, Hayden, and RJ. Tom Vial was there. Little Tom. We miss him. So not a showdown this year. So I don't know what's going to happen in 250s. It is a East race, I believe. Yes. So I am going to pick Cole. I think that Cole is probably not fired up from Cleveland this year. I think that, like we talked about earlier, Cole is very hard on himself and just expects more out of his riding, which honestly, like, I respect. So Cole would be my pick. For 450s, my heart wants to choose Kenny. But I know that, I mean, Hunter's going to be fired up. We don't know about Eli. We don't know if Hunter is injured. We don't know if he's burned. So I'm going to go Davies, Kenny. And Katie, I asked her to text me her picks. Katie is going Davies, Hunter. Hunter would be my second place, like just quietly behind Ken. But we don't know, again, we don't know if he's injured. We don't know if he's burned from the gas. We don't know any of that. So those are our picks for Philly. Other things to note around the industry yesterday was the 1-year anniversary of Jerry Robbins' wreck that left him paralyzed. I have been a big fan of Jerry and his wife, Jennifer. Really, since I started following them, they are very well connected in the sport. And they're one of those couples that, like, I've never heard a negative thing about them. And then when this happened and just seeing like how the community and the sport just like stepped up to take care of him and just the resilience that I've seen, it just speaks to like a healthy marriage. And like when you say in sickness and in health, for better, for worse, like this is in sickness and worse. So, continuing just to pray for them, and you can support them by buying hats, and which I have. I need to unpack it from my trip. It usually goes right there on the wall with my collection of hats. And those are really cool. I love the designs, and Jennifer's done a really good job on that. So if you can support the Robbin family in his recovery, that would be great, because there's all kinds of expenses with, getting a new house that can fit his wheelchair better, to different types of rehabs, to equipment, things like that. So just, when your life changes literally in the blink of an eye, there's going to be financial repercussions for that. So do whatever you can there. Also, our buddy at Supercross Voices, if you buy or donate or do anything that supports Jerry and Jennifer, you will get free Supercross Voice stickers, which I have on the back of this computer and on my Kindle. And I love stickers, which also I have a new batch of stickers. So if you have not snagged your Real Housewives of Moto stickers, please do so on my Instagram. There is a form there. It's all free. I handwrite these. I love snail mail. I also love seeing where you guys put these. It's so funny to me that like just the demo of women fans that I've made here. People will be like, I want to put it on my water bottle, but I'm too scared because I might put it somewhere else. So like the sticker, like FOMO, no, what is it? Sticker analysis paralysis. Like, where am I going to put the sticker? Like, totally, I get it. I have one on my phone that is not, if you're watching the video, it's not actually stuck there because I don't like sticking things on. I just like having them under the case. So like my Kindle and my computers and stuff like that, they are all actually under the case because I can't give it to a sticker location. So please hit the link in my bio for stickers. Like I said, those are all free. And I just love getting to see where you guys are from. Like, it's so fun. I was pulling this up the other day when I was talking to Katie. Pause, please. Like all the locations that you guys request these from. I just love it. Oh, and Brittany Martin, shout out. She is actually like really close to me in the DFW area. So Brittany, hey, we should be friends. Says, love your pod so much. Thank you for sharing the best content. I love sharing info with my husband that he hasn't heard yet from his Moto pods. It's the first year beating him in fantasy. I freaking love that. That's exactly what this is here for. We are giving you the tea that nobody else is giving. And so I love that. And I love that you're beating him in fantasy. I have officially fallen off fantasy because I did not do my fantasy picks when I was in Nashville. That is always my downfall when I go to the races is I forget to do them. I should just do them the day before and choose with my heart and not like pick it apart during qualifying, you know? So I also know people that didn't change their Eli picks after he went out in qualifying too. And so that ruined it. So I did not do my picks last week and I did not do my picks this week. So if you are still killing it in fantasy, kudos, because it has been a little bit of a chaotic year. So love that. Other things to mention, I am building up our Discord. So that can also be found in the link in my bio on Instagram. Just wanting to connect with you guys during race day, trying to use the broadcast channel on Instagram, but it's just not intuitive to me because I just am old and I don't know, not cool. So give me a follow there. Also, we've got RHoMie merch, which is so fun seeing you guys at the races in my t-shirts and hoodies and stuff. It is just the wildest thing that someone wants to like wear my brand just a year into this. So very, very cool. We got Philly coming up this week. We're back to an evening race. Thank God. Thank you for not another day race. Like I said, I think I'm officially out on day races for multiple reasons. I like Supercross under the lights. I like the flow of my day. I do not like waking up at the butt crack of dawn to see Eli injured. So bring us back under the lights. And then we will go Denver. And then we'll go Salt Lake City. And we're done. We're done for Supercross. And then we go into the outdoors, which, we're going to have to do a preview show for outdoors for motocross because pending Jet and his weird foot injury, which he was very transparent on Race Day Live last week that like he's not where he wants to be recovery wise. We could have everybody super healthy. Now we have Eli out, but I think that Prado is the dark horse. I think that Ducati is going to be even better outdoors. So Dylan, we're going to have Tony Cairoli come over. I just think that the outdoors are going to be a great season. The closest race for me is Denver, is Lakewood. And I would really like to go to a race, but all of them are so freaking far away. We used to have one race. We used to have Freestone here and it's hot AF and everyone had heat stroke. So there is nothing in Texas for Pro Moto. We have a couple big amateur races, which is cool. I do want to hit up some more of the amateur races this year because I've made so many friends with you guys who have little ones who race and I want to come cheer them on with you. So that would be cool. But TBD on Lakewood. I have always wanted to go to Washougal. Washougal is my bucket list for Moto. I've always wanted to go to Unadilla. I know that Unadilla is hard to get to because it's like nowhere near the airport. And then I've always wanted to go to Southwick because the sand is just like iconic. So one of these years we will get a motorhome or an RV or something and drive to all these races. We're still renting motorhomes to figure out like what we want and what's in our price range for going camping with the kids and stuff. But summer being right around the corner, I have a fairly flexible job that I can, kind of work from the road as long as I have internet. And I just think that would be so fun to like go to a bunch of outdoor races and work and do Real Housewives and all the things. And so next year, that is a big push of mine that I want to physically get the RHoMies together. I've talked about this, whether it's a suite or a dinner or we get a hotel block or whatever. I just think that would be so cool. And that's like my next dream and goal for the pod. So that was our Cleveland recap. Bummed that I couldn't wrap this up with Katie, but we make it happen with our kids and our dogs and our internet and all the things. So hope you guys have a lovely week, and I will catch you after Philly. Bye.